Hello and welcome once again. God, you're going to be seeing a lot of me, aren't you? I think. We're going live again. You may be wondering, why are we going live again? Or you may be completely in the know as to what's going on. But Hasbro Pulse have just posted yet more, I would say, reveals for Yojoe June. Now, this is going to be, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of me this month. I'm sorry. You're going to be seeing a lot of me going live and reporting on this stuff as it comes in, because it's just going to be so intense, isn't it? It's going to be it's going to be constant. So welcome. It is the News Burst Live. I'm Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, and you are here on with the Full Force podcast. Now, what has happened in the last few minutes? We've had two reveals posted by Hasbro Pulse social channels. We've had Classified Grunt and we've had Classified Crimson Viper. Now, I thought it would be worth just kind of, throwing the images up on slideshow, talking through them a little bit with you guys and seeing what the buzz is on these two cheeky reveals. Now, there could be more today. You never know. We could be seeing a lot more reveals and stuff coming. I don't know exactly what the plan is going to be, so I thought, well, you know what, I'll go live, and if there's any other stuff later in the day, I'll just bundle it all together and we'll do a news burst tonight. But anyway, yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Two figures to talk through. Let's do it. Oh yes, Grunt and the Crimson Viper. Now, obviously, there are also people joining me in the chat. Loads of people. How are you all doing, everybody? Hello, Ed. Hello, Matt. Hello, The Collector. Hello, Super Saiyan. Hello, Toy Bounty Hunter. Hello, Matt. Hello, Diana. Hello, Jason and Toy Kind of Mood. What up? There's going to be... sorry, guys. You're going to be seeing a lot of me, unfortunately, by the looks of things. I've already done a live today. I did the unboxing of those wonderful Super 7 Wave 1 figures, which I've packed away again because it was carnage in here. It was absolute carnage. So we are back in business. So Robert W. Graves in the house, Ed, absolutely. What was funny, we were talking about, isn't it weird? On the thing this morning, the unboxing, we were talking about file names and which ones are really like classically, them more than the blooming regular name. Graves came up as one, and lo and behold, there it is on his top. We'll get to that. Let's start first with Le Crimson Viper, as they say in France. They don't say that in France at all. So it looks as though, because obviously that news leaked not too long ago, leaked listings popped out, didn't they, of a PulseCon exclusive Crimson 3-pack of the Baroness and the Twins. So obviously that left the Crimson Viper up in the air, didn't it? Because that would have been the one to complete the Crimson Strike team from way back in like the 3 3/4, the O-ring club set, and then of course the modern 4-inch club set as well. So here we go. We've got the kind of complete team, more or less, although Baroness and the Twins haven't been technically officially revealed yet. I think we can assume that is what's going to be happening. And and another Viper. And I did mention this the other day. I said, I wonder if the Crimson Viper is on the cards. There it is. There he is. Now, another little interesting element here is the fact that he comes with the scarf, but it's a little blue number. I kind of like that. Kind of digging that pop of blue when it's on there. What I should have done is done a Photoshop of the scarf on his neck so that we could kind of see it. But very nice. So yeah, we've got Crimson Guard, Crimson Bats, Crimson Vipers. Then we'll have Baroness and the Twins. You could throw in the Python Crimson Guard if you want to be annoying like me. And then you've got the Retro Crimson Guard. So there's a ton of Crimson-based figures already in this set, isn't there? In this line. Cheers. I'm drinking out of a Boba Fett corksicle. Isn't that cool? Yeah, nice. Well, good. It's water as well. Also, what I really like about it on the top, on the on top of the lid, you got a mythosaur. Look, cool, huh? Anyway, that's by the by. Crimson Viper, pretty standard fare, crimson version of the Viper. You got the goggles, you got the rifle with the, I think, removable magazine. I'm pretty sure it is. They just don't show it on there, removable, and the pistol, the scarf, and the backpack. So again, a nice little army builder, cheeky little army builder. And just to kind of like give all the information out of what we've got going on at the moment, the post that Hasbro Pulse specifically put out there said the following: "We're not one to let Yojoe June get cold. Here are our first Yojoe Classified Series render reveals, introducing Grunt, which we'll get to next, including, well, yeah, I'll get to that in a second as well, and the newest troop builder recruit, the Crimson Viper, available for pre-order later this year, so stay tuned." I think they'll probably be available for pre-order. Later this year is technically correct. Probably be sooner than that suggests. Crimson Asp, yes. Who wasn't Crimson either, yeah. Definitely. Crimson Bats, yeah, I said Bats, I think. But yeah, there's so much crimson in this line. I love it. Hello, Diana Davis. Yeah, let's get on to the next one. Then obviously, this is the Crimson Viper. What else can you say? It's a red Viper and looks pretty cool. And it's going to be pretty cool as an army builder. And the Viper's it's a generally a pretty awesome figure anyway. I really like the Python one. The first standard version was absolutely superb. And then the 3-pack, which introduced that kind of like Viper officer, which again, I really like the deco on that. And then obviously the kind of slightly changed deco of the other 2 figures that are in that set. I mean, we've got multiples now. So that's there's 2 in the 3-pack technically, when you're talking about decos and designs. So there's 2 different styles there. The Cobra Island one is one. The Python one is one. This is another. That's 5 different versions of the Viper so far. I think that's it. Are we going to get any more, do you think, is the question? What's left? Sonic Fighters is one, isn't it? Yes. Actually, yeah, I'd be all over a Sonic Fighters Viper. 100%. Give me a Sonic Fighters Viper, and you will have a happy McLeod, definitely. I think there should be a whole like subset wave of Sonic Fighter repaints, as long as Falcon's head gets sorted out. Yeah, so that's Crimson Viper. Next up then, and this is the one that I think everyone is kind of like interested and excited about, and it's technically an army builder. It's Grunt. Now, so much to talk about here, actually, which is kind of fun. So obviously you've got Grunt as Grunt, I guess, in there somewhere. If you take that secondary off, which is, I think, like a steel core secondary, or I should look at the steel core and see if it's exactly the same or not. I should have done that. I didn't think to do that before I came online, and I apologize. Steel core classified. And basically, I just want to see if that chest piece or that secondary piece is the SAM. No, it's not. It's different. So that's interesting. So this kind of looks like something else, doesn't it? But I don't know what it would be from. Maybe Rock and Roll. Did Rock and Roll have that going on with the knife on it? I can't remember which one it is. I haven't opened the new wave yet, so I really need to get on that, don't I? Let's just quickly look at Classified Rock and Roll. No, he's got the cross piece. Who has got that I'm thinking of? I think this might be the first time we've seen it, right? I don't know. Anyway, I'll probably work it out. But very, very cool kind of tactical vest scenario. He's got a steel core helmet, which kind of makes him like an army builder with the steel core. He's got his regular helmet, and the head sculpt. I actually think the head sculpt's kind of interesting here. It's not like what you kind of expect Grunt necessarily from like the comics and stuff like that, or the cartoon even. He was very good looking in the cartoon. This one is way more like the vintage toy, where it's a little bit rough and ready, a little bit stockier in the face. I kind of like it, and I kind of like the little eyebrow kind of poking up a little bit. There's definitely an interesting head sculpt going on there, and I like it. Obviously, the steel core helmet's cool. Then he's got his regular helmet, so you can get a regular kind of grunt going on. I think I'd like to know if that secondary would come off, and I'm sure they'll explain that on Monday when they talk about the HasLab. I'm sure they'll briefly mention the reveals from today. So, yeah, this is really interesting. I kind of like it. And then, but I'm interested to know if that secondary comes off. If the secondary comes off, then you've got like a very classic grunt under there, I reckon. Very classic. Obviously, he comes with a knife, comes with a pistol. He's got a sheath and a holster, obviously, for those. The sheath is on his secondary, by the look of it, on his shoulder, and the pistol holster is on his right thigh. And the other one looks like a pouch, maybe. Hard to say, but I don't think anything else goes in there. Maybe the magazine for the M16, possibly, but you get the M16, which is pretty cool as well. And the backpack, the smaller backpack with pegs, so you can affix the rifles on there. And elephant in the room. Well, there's a couple of elephants in the room. I've already mentioned one of the elephants. The other elephant, the Sunbow laser rifle, is in there. I'm so happy they've done that. I'm so happy it's in the classified range now. Surprising it didn't come with Snowdrop, obviously, but very happy that they've got it in with Grunt. And the fact that he's like an army builder kind of idea, because that's what they say in the post. Some of the posts that I missed out earlier, introducing Grunt includes a bonus steel core helmet that makes him double as a troop builder. So I think people are expected, or they will expect people to buy multiples of Grunt. So you'll end up with multiples of the rifle as well, which is a kind of an interesting and great way to do it. I mean, it's an absolute classic marketing move from Hasbro, isn't it? To go like, let's stick the rifle everyone wants in with an army builder, and people will go absolutely bonkeroonies for it. Nice. Sorry, there's loads of comments. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. I'm sorry. Thanks for all your comments, though, guys. Really appreciate it. It's the Yojoe June that keeps giving, DJ. Absolutely. Vipers and Alley Vipers are my all-time favorites, says Durant. The different colors remind me a lot of that scene in Rogue One where all the different flavors of stormtroopers are running around when the big attack begins at the end. Yes, Supdon. Totally know what you're saying. Oh, that's a good shout. Toy Bounty Hunter. Arctic Viper. There's precedent in the modern era, the 4-inch era, definitely. Yeah, there's loads. And Ed, you're right. Green, grey, jungle camo as well. Yeah. You can tell he's grunting, says Diana. Brilliant. It is green shirt army builders basically with grunt, isn't it? Definitely agree with that. Yeah, so let's look at a couple of things that I think are really nice, like additions that they've thrown on here. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. In actual fact, Slave, I'm getting to that right now, by the way, your little comment there. Give me a sec. Boom. Now, this secondary is really intriguing for two reasons. One, I love the fact they've put E4 Graves on there. That's obviously, E4 his grade and Graves his actual file name. I'm not sure he should have his file name on his shirt for a top secret organization like G.I. Joe, but it's G.I. Joe and they do whatever the fudge they want, don't they? Obviously, the GoPro is thrown in there in addition as well, so that's kind of continuing that theme. And this interesting hinged like tablet sort of device is really cool, isn't it? I wonder if that actually hinges down. And I think if it does, freaking awesome. And also it will bring so much more to that figure than just a generic kind of army builder sort of body. And I kind of am digging that hinge down like thing. I'm really hoping it moves. I'm really hoping it actually articulates, because that would be so cool. And not just that, but that whatever that tablet or thing is that's on there would come out like a Nintendo Switch or a Game Boy or something like that. Definitely very cool. Have we got? Is there more reveals happening as we speak? Oh no, sorry. Someone just sent me a message, but they've just sent some cool army builder ideas around with Photoshop things. Actually, it's Paddy that sent me that. Thanks, Paddy. You scared me there for a minute. I thought there was another blooming reveal happening, which could happen. Let's face it. We could have more today. It does feel a little bit G.I. Joe Day-ish, doesn't it? Even though it's not. It's the 2nd of June, and they probably don't want to reveal too much because it's a month. They've got to spread out. Maybe they want to do some stuff on a daily basis. Monday, of course, we've got the HASLab, and then I'm sure there'll be things throughout the week as well, leading up to the next kind of event. Someone asked me the other day, do I think they're going to be things every week? Yeah, I'm pretty much sure there will be. And I have a strong feeling that we're going to see more pre-orders this month as well as the ones we saw at the start and the HASLab on Monday. It's going to get a bit intense, isn't it? Anyway, that is the little chess section I was talking about. But I'm really excited about this. This secondary is what I'm excited about, because I really want to know if that hinges down, and I really want to know, and I really want to see all those little details up close as well. I think it's rather cool. I'd buy 2, says Sucked on 3. Pink Vipers, let's do it, says Robert H. Actually, yeah, we had kind of like a funny color variation in the modern era, didn't we? What do they call it? Rose or something like that. I can't remember what the color was that they're kind of fuchsia. That's what it is. Fuchsia is what they're described as. Sorry, I had a little brain fart again there. But yeah, I could see them doing a pink version, definitely. Good morning, everyone in Yojoe, to you as well, Joe Barrett. Super Sciences need like 10 minimum of them grunts. Put them against Cobra infantry. No, I like your thinking. More Crimson Army Builders, says Firefly. Yes, he says he's happy about it. I'm getting 2 Crimson Vipers and a grunt. Really digging both figures, says Joe. Absolutely. Harrison Townsend said the real question here is who will make a con box big enough to put all 15 figures in it. I wonder who. Vipers need an update though. You think so? You think? Well, I guess like it'd be nice if they had, in the similar way that they did with the bat, with the Arctic bat. I thought that was a genius way of reutilizing the same base body and, you know, adding new elements to it and effectively making what looks like a brand new figure. And I think that's something that they could really do with the Vipers now. But like with the Vipers, you could maybe go a little bit further with it, and they could have like heavy weapons Vipers and then change the secondary and have a bit of armor put on them and stuff like, you know, like kind of change it up a little bit. I agree with you on that one though, definitely. It does look like it hinges down, doesn't it? I think that's what it does. That way you can post selfies to Instagram. Good thinking, Diana. It's just his tablet in it to post some awesome up-nose selfies. Samuel wants the underbarrel grenade launcher on the M16. That would be kind of cool. I feel like there is the one in the line. I mean, there's one in the vintage era. So I'm sure if anyone does get one, it will be Recoil has one, doesn't he? Recoil has a grenade launcher attachment on his M16 or M16 style rifle. Leatherneck's the other one, isn't he? Yes, when Leatherneck comes out, I bet you we get that rifle, Samuel. Definitely. You've seen the Snow Serpents already, Chris? Are you referring to a new reveal on actual official here, or are you talking about have I seen it with my connections kind of thing? Because no to either of those. I haven't seen the Snow Serpents already, if that's what you mean. Like on the secret. No, I haven't at all. I'm very excited to see what they look like. And I would tell you if I had seen them. I genuinely would, but I haven't. Now I'm just double checking to make sure when you say that, you're not referring to an actual official post that Hasbro Pulse have just put out. So I'm just checking. Well, okay, why is that? I don't know why I can't search on here all of a sudden. There we go. Okay, just checking, and everything's cool. Okay, fine. No, I haven't. Super. Super Cyan. Berserk. Darren says it does hinge down and likely has a computer screen sticker on it. Thank you, Darren Marshall. That is good information to know. Thank you very much. Great edition of the extra. Yes, Raymond, great edition of the extra steel helmet, so you can troop build. Absolutely. Ed says the vest reminds me so much of Pursuit of Cobra Hawk, who really should have been an army builder character like Grunt. Anyhow, yeah, that and maybe is it Resolute Duke? I think it's Resolute Duke that has a similar kind of chest thing going on, tactical vest. But yeah, Ed, big time. That Pursuit of Cobra Hawk, big time. Great job, says Patty Panzika. Thank you, Patty. I believe for the figures, obviously, yeah, big time, great job. Wonderful work by Lenny and team, big time, 100%. Use parts of the Hiss Gunner and the Valkyrie to make a female Viper. Definitely, yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to see a female Viper. Utilizing those parts actually is a good shout. Or you know what they're like? They'll just make something from scratch. Definitely. And I could see a female Viper definitely happening. Ryan Daly says, bless this stream for giving me something to kill time at the airport waiting for my flight. Where are you going, Ryan? Let us know. I hope it's a safe one for you, and I'm glad we could fill some of that time with a bit of streamage. Oh, okay. Yeah, about the Snow Serpent Super Saiyan. Yeah, you were only asking because you hope they show them soon. Yeah, we'll see them soon. I can tell you we'll probably see them very soon. But unfortunately, I haven't seen them yet, and I want to. Philly, man, you had it again. I just came back from break, and you're back with more intel. It's just the news as it happens. Nick Thomas Prime says, I wish they would have made the scope bigger on the M16 so I could give one to Stalker because comics. Yeah, well, I think we'll probably see we'll see them in the line eventually. I think Nick Thomas Prime. We'll see those kind of rifles and weapons and stuff introduced, because especially when you have like I mentioned about Leatherneck with the grenade launcher attachment on his M16. When Leatherneck gets done, which you expect to happen, I expect Leatherneck, wetsuit. It's funny because Leatherneck hasn't been mentioned much in the kind of classified sphere, but I think Leatherneck would be a fantastic figure. They could do him like a little bit more hench, kind of in like a gung-ho style, and they could, and obviously with have wetsuit as well. That would be phenomenal in a wave, wouldn't it? Wetsuit and Leatherneck in the same wave. I'd be all over that. And for Super 7 Ultimates as well, because obviously they're massive Sunbow characters. Yeah. It is a surprise figure 6-pack, isn't it? Yeah, a lovely surprise in my. I'm so like this is what I love about Yojoe June. Just randomly, it'll be drop here, drop there, boom. There you go. Oh, that's another good shout, Ed. Yes, Gridiron Studios does an awesome M16 with scope and silencer. It goes perfectly with Stalker. If in doubt, Gridiron Studios it out. They seem to have everything you need to kind of fill out any gaps and things like that. So yeah, definitely check them out. Eben Foster says, this Grunt is a home run. Grunt or Steel Brigade Delta figure army builder. Yeah, I suppose it is kind of more of a Delta, isn't it, Eben? Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Cobra Eels or Cobra Divers. Yeah, they'd be good as well, Super Saiyan. Definitely. Well, I definitely expect Eels around the corner, almost certainly. And then obviously, yeah, you get Divers and then Wetsuit 100. And now that we've got Torpedo, you wonder what else will get utilizing some of those parts. So yeah, excited for it all, really. That's a good shout. Yeah, but the beret though, figure 6-pack, would the beret fit? If the beret fits, then yeah, I'd buy a few of these. And we'd never see Grunt. Well, I don't know. I feel like what I will say about this head is I think it's full of like personality. I think it's like not what you'd expect. Like I said, Grunt in the cartoon was very pretty. He was like a good-looking guy, very smooth, very slim kind of facial features. The Grunt figure looked very much like a dog had chewed on the head and then spat it out. It was to say it was ugly would be an understatement. It was closer to my noggin in facial features. But yeah, I like the fact that there's kind of almost like an in-between here where it's going to stock your face. It's like, it's not classically attractive, shall we say? But again, you've got like there's a lot of personality in there, like the eyebrow raise. And I think there's going to be a lot of interest. There's a lot of interesting things going on in that head sculpt. So yeah, that's why I kind of like it. The other helmet's very much like rock and roll, isn't it? Yeah, because obviously when they do these reveals, the exposure on the image render, the brightness behind it makes everything look darker. So it's harder to kind of make out sometimes. Anyway, that is that. Yeah, Leatherneck, Toy Bounty Hunter Leatherneck would be great. That would be a great name drop. And Alpine, yeah, big time. Yeah, okay. So the other thing I wanted to obviously point out is this. Yes, the Sunbow laser rifle is now going to be part of the Classified series, and I couldn't be happier. That is great news and looks really cool. It's like a slightly different variation on it, but still with all the signposts there. Just very, very, very excited to have this introduced into the line. And not just that, but the fact that it's going to be with an army builder means that we're going to get the opportunity to kind of get a few of these as well. Do you know what I mean? Let's just go back because I've had another question. Officina Dos Joe says, hey again, Chris, what is the left leg accessory? Supposed to be a med kit or something like this? Yeah, when I was looking at it, I just thought it was a pouch. And obviously, I'm sure Lenny will describe everything about what is, on him, what things are when they maybe when they're on like another live event soon. But yeah, I would assume it's just a big pouch. But a med kit would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? 100%. I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking that's what it is from this point onward. We'll just call it his med pack. Excuse me. Yeah, good point, actually, Adam. Yeah, love that we got the rifle. Weird that it didn't come with Snow Job. Very weird indeed. But I think maybe their thoughts were that if they put it in with Snow Job, then it's a more expensive figure, harder to get more of them. It's not like they do accessory sets. So, for people that wanted multiple rifles for all of their Joes, this is probably the best way to go about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like it might have even been better put them in the Steel Core 2-pack, but again, that's more expensive. So maybe they thought, well, let's do a cheaper, smaller army builder, make it grunt as well, and throw in the rifle. And I think that's actually this. The more I talk it out, it seems more thoughtful towards the collector than anything else. So I think that's probably why they've done it. Plus, it adds an element of intrigue and interest, and more, more likelihood to purchase more of them by putting it in this figure. But again, at least it's not in the 2-pack still. Well, yeah, I don't think it's in the Steel Brigade 2-pack, the Steel Core 2-pack. Sorry, but then if we might not have seen all the accessories in that render because, for example, Tele Viper and Trouble Bubble didn't have the mine on it, did it, on the original render? And boom, there's a mine with it. So you might have the rifle included with Steel Core. Might be a bit too much wishful thinking, and they might not have it, obviously. That might be everything that you see because there's a lot of stuff in that render as well. But I think that if this is how they're going to do it with this figure, it's probably the best way to do it, isn't it, for the collector? It's definitely oddly the cheapest way to do it for the collector. So I think that's actually a good thing in that sense. Yeah. And I guess, yeah, you could say that Grunt could just be a Steel Brigade commander, couldn't he? 100% on that. 100%. Love that idea. Harrison says, I'd really enjoy a retro-carded accessory pack Pulse exclusive. Yeah, like an accessory pack would be kind of fun. Like they've done with Super 7 now, where they're putting these accessory packs in with the whole wave of ordered figures. So yeah, I think that would be kind of definitely a fun thing to do for Classified. And it, like, lots of people ask for accessory sets, don't they? Like, it just seems to be all the time. I'm taking you with me as I water my tiny trees, says Diana. That's so adorable. I hope you're having a great. So it's really hot here. I don't know what it must be absolutely roasting in California. It needs a masthead to use with the other helmet. Have that minimalism style. What, the Grunt? Or do you mean Steel Core? Because yeah, I'd like it if I'm interested to know if it's a helmet or a head sculpt of that Steel Core helmet. I don't know. The Steel Core helmet could be hollow and it could just go over the head. That would be cool. And therefore, like with the Steel Core figures, do their helmets come off and is there a balaclava underneath? Not really sure about that. I think I would assume they're head sculpts, and you just take Grunt's head off and you pop the Steel Core one on. And obviously, his helmet is a helmet, and that goes on as over the head. But we'll see, I guess. We'll find out all that information a bit later. Figure 6-pack says 6 characters down, 7 more to go for the original 13, but wouldn't the upcoming shooter figure make them 14? Yes, the figure 6-pack, that is very true. Although you wonder, because Pat and I were having this conversation about shooter, right? Because they're bringing shooter out in Night Force, I kind of assume they're going to go with that black, all black gear that we saw her in with the 4-inch Special Forces 3-pack from the 50th anniversary. Excuse me. So that would probably leave the door open for a standard green shooter in the standard like line as a repaint. And I think that's something that they probably would do, thinking about like reutilizing the character again and getting another use out of her, out of the mold and the figure and everything. So I would assume that, yeah, you could obviously put shooter in. And again, I don't know if it's going to be all black. They might just reveal Night Force shooter in all green. They absolutely could happen, and therefore they've just killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and you probably wouldn't get the re-deco. But if I was thinking from a perspective like like that, I'd start with the Night Force shooter in black, and I'd re-release her in green later on, and then have like you say, like an OG 14 version to go with it. Yeah, cool. It's mid-60s in the California. Damn. Okay. It's like 912 degrees right now. I don't know why I'm wearing this. I should be naked. I shouldn't, and certainly not on the live stream. That's for Pat and Naked HD, isn't it? Mr. Cheeseburger says, I love this grunt figure. I'm giving up so many other lines to focus only on G.I. Joe. I love this figure. Well, Mr. Cheeseburger, I'm with you on that one. Classified has definitely taken over my life, and I am very just on edge all the time, up to wanting to see new stuff. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it has meant a sacrifice of pretty much everything else because there's just so much of it now. Yep, cool. Right then. Oh, Darren, yes, Sparks as well, please. Yes, please. That would be great, wouldn't it? If we could get like a proper Sparks with gear and everything, like the backpack and the antenna and the headset and everything. Oh, that'd be so dope. You could have so much fun with the classified Sparks. It would be so good. And yeah, then you could have an OG 15, right? Well, yeah, Soda, but Hawk is actually going to expect version 2 is what I'm going to say on that one. Yeah, I think it would be great if I would just imagine that maybe that a Hawk OG 13 style is probably in the future, but expect the version 2 for this Hawk reveal coming, the more recent one. It will be interesting how Hasbro release Steeler, Grand Slam, and Clutch. It will, Rachel. I'd hope with vehicles, because I'm just crazy like that. But yeah, it would be kind of odd. I mean, like obviously we've had Copperhead. Have we had any other vehicles? A Cover Girl. So they've done them without. So it's possible that we'll just see that. October Guard, please. To smoke them if you got them. I don't think we'll see October Guard for a little while. They might have the odd one here, there, and everywhere, but probably play down the October Guard aspect. But we'll have to see how they do that. Mr. Cheeseburger says, I'm so mad they didn't make Rock and Roll all green like Grunt. Well, you never know. They might even do a retro version of it. It's like the retro card thing exists again now. We know that with the upcoming retro leak listings, Cobra Commander in the His Tank. So I think the door would probably be open for a retro version of Rock and Roll, and it might have been a thought to the future to make Rock and Roll slightly different, to have some fun with him, so that they could again re-release him on a retro card in all green. I think that's something that's a very high possibility in the future, Mr. Cheeseburger. So don't worry too much. You get everything. Everything eventually comes. Do you know what I mean? We eventually get it. So I wouldn't worry too much about, if you're expecting a different version. I mean, I'm upset. I haven't seen version 4 Snake Eyes yet. Fingers crossed, 2024. Right. Oh, Harrison says, wait till you buy a 3D printed vehicle. I'm selling internal organs to buy them now. That's hilarious. They look so good. The people that do the 3D printed vehicle stuff, man, nuts. And also, they always look so great. And yeah, it's tempting, isn't it? But the problem is, it's so expensive to get things printed in general. But like, wow, I'd be all over that. If I had a 3D printer, I would be printing stuff all day long, which you literally have to for some things. How long before we see Falcon Glider Tan Grunt? Not long at all, I reckon. Oh, and in fact, I could see them doing the gliders. That's definitely something I could see them doing. Make them actually work as well, and then you'd be crapping yourself as you threw it off a 10-story building and hoped that it didn't just explode on impact. How dare you, Toy Bounty Hunter? That's my favorite grunt, by the way. Genuinely. I know you're shuddering, but genuinely love that grunt figure. I had so much fun with that as a kid. Love the little zips on the front of the pants. Love the orangey yellow pants. I love the kind of chest exposed, the helmet, the little hair curl, the open, like the screaming Yojoe or full force grunt. Loved it, mate. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, sorry. Just probably ruined your day saying that. Blue Ninjas, Angela. Yep, Blue Ninjas, I think, are on the cards now that we've seen that cycloptic bat head. They'll use that for Blue Ninjas, I reckon. That'd be kind of cool. Paul said, hello again, Chris. Exciting times. I'm on the West Coast, so I went back to sleep after your Super 7 unboxing. I'm surprised you weren't sleeping during my Super 7 unboxing. I'm that dry. So why does he come with a steel core helmet? Well, Paul, there is basically to make him an army builder as well. So it's basically to increase the interest in the character and increase the opportunity to buy a few more of them, basically. So they've thrown in the laser rifle, the Sunbow laser rifle, and the steel core helmet. The steel core helmet will, like you say, make him an army builder option. So that's why they've done it. Yeah. And actually, I was under the impression that they were going to include Steel Brigade helmets in other figures, but changed their minds about it. So I knew this was coming. I knew Grunt was going to have the steel core helmet, but when I saw that other figures had come out without it, I was kind of like, oh, I wonder if they're going to scrap that for Grunt. But no, it's there with Grunt. So that's why they're doing it, basically. Can we get Falcon and Viper gliders that will supposedly... Yeah. Rachel, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine proper Falcon and Viper gliders that worked for Classified. They'd have to be pretty big, and they'd have to be kind of material based as well to kind of catch the... Like, there'd be so much... Like, they'd have to actually be like effectively scaled down real world gliders to do it. I don't think I've ever seen gliders that big. Like, I don't think Action Man or G.I. Joe 12-inch had it. So yeah, I think yeah. Well, nobody's perfect. I'm far from perfect, Toy Bounty Hunter, definitely. But I appreciate that you feel like I was prior to that. That's what I'm going to get from that. Yeah, like Angela, the Robot Ninjas, big time. Yeah, I definitely think with that cycloptic Arctic bat head, I think they'll reuse that for those ninjas. Super Sinus asked, those 60th anniversary figures, how do you think they're going to be based on? So, good point. 60th anniversary, they were leaked images, weren't they? Leaked listings of the 60 designated classified figures. And with because they were from 2024 and next year being the 12-inch 60th anniversary, kind of makes a little bit of sense that they'll be doing something 60th anniversary related. I don't know. I mean, again, Pat and I have talked about this. I think we talked about it on the weekly. We can't really see. There's a lot of options. You could go like well early in the Action Man and G.I. Joe eras, like the early 60s, and you could really do some like, Action Soldier and Sailor and all that kind of stuff. Or you could do something like G.I. Joe Colton and G.I. Jane or something, and just have them in like, kind of like packaging that's reminiscent of it. But yeah, not a clue right now, but I'm very excited to find out what that's going to look like. We'll probably have to wait either until right at the end of this year or going into next year before we hear or see anything officially about that. Likely, that's what I'm guessing. Jennifer's going to swap this head for Falcon. I hope the beret fits. Is all I'm going to say on that one. We need a jetpack accessory pack for all these OG Joes, Raymond. Yeah, I'll just buy 50 steel core 2-packs when they come out. Yeah, simplistic design, Kofi. I quite like it as well. And also, I'm interested to know if that secondary comes off, because if it does, then you could actually have like a very classic grunt, couldn't you? Helmet, M16, backpack, secondary off, and you've got grunt. But I imagine it probably won't come off. I am very excited about that hinge thing on the front, though. I'm really excited to see that and the little computer screen. That's going to be dope. Harrison, this is a good point. Genuinely, aren't we due for a Snake Eyes Cobra Commander in the line? V3 Snake Eyes and Battle Armor Cobra Commander, please. So, first of all, Pat would love that comment because he loves version 3 Snake Eyes. So do I. But I'm definitely more of a version 4 man. But yeah, that version 3 Snake Eyes would be dope with the trench knives that kind of go on the chest. Probably maybe even holstered, sheathed. That'd be well cool. I always get sheath and holster mixed up. Have you noticed that? Obviously, kind of night vision goggles attachment would be kind of cool from like the modern 4-inch version, because I think that was gonna happen on the O-ring figure, but they costed it out and they left all the kind of bits on his head, and it didn't kind of make a lot of sense. But all the weapons would be cool, like the long kind of blow gun thing and the three section staff and the kind of Uzi with silencer and hook on it. Yeah, or like the submachine gun, I should say, with suppressor and hook on it. That'd be so dope. Yeah, I would definitely have that. And Battle Armor Cobra Commander, how has that not happened? How has that not happened yet? I feel like it's got to happen like soon. Maybe they're holding a few back for impact. And I think both of those are pretty impactful versions of those characters. Tim Pedersen says, you'll have to remove the secondary if you want to use him as a troop builder since it has his name on it. Good point, Tim. Or you just paint over it. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, I wonder if it's removable. Probably not. But we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out what their plans are for it. But everyone's called Graves in the team. Angela's hoping for Flash and Blowtorch. That's both awesome, by the way. I'd love to see both of them in the line. Chris, what did I think of the 1,000 Toys G.I. Joes? I used some of their blank figures as drawing references, and remember they had Joe stuff. Duke being a cyborg with his version 3 art and the jacket is interesting. Dude, I love them. I genuinely love them. I got Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, and Duke. The bait crossover, wasn't it? 1,000 Toys bait. And yeah, I thought they were phenomenal. And I've even technically got a cosplay of that Duke with the pants. I got the pants. I got the jacket. Obviously, I bought the jacket because the jacket's amazing. The reversible one from Bait, so cool. And and yeah, and I was going to do like a mask, like a Duke mask with like a blonde wig attachment, and then do like a cyborg exposed bit at the back. I thought it would be kind of cool. I had this idea actually to buy a Terminator mask, like a one of those like exoskeleton Terminator or endoskeleton Terminator kind of rubber masks. Use that as the base, and then mold Duke's face over it with a blonde wig on top to make it look like I was that cyborg in the back. I think that would be so dope. Anyway, yeah, loved them, and I really liked the idea, and I really thought they were cool, and I bought all of them. So yeah. Aficiana Dos Joe says, so Hasbro will probably replace the generic green shirts for steel core helmets across the line. It could be nice. Yeah, I guess they will. I mean, this is it looks like this is the steel core is going to be the army builder for Joe, isn't it, basically? Darren says, as long as the gliders would fold up and extend out and lock, they could work for classified, talking about the Viper and Falcon gliders for classified. Yeah, that and wouldn't it be cool though? I would love it, but I would be terrified to throw them. Like classified figures are actually very durable. Like, then it's not like, you know, something's going to break necessarily if you drop it. I've dropped so many of them from a height, and they're just fine. They're quite solid. So, you know, as long as you didn't have loads of accessories on, loose accessories on them, you should be all right. And I'm going to go with that, Darren. I'm going to say, yeah, let's just do it. Will this helmet fit on other figures? Don't know, Mr. Cheeseburger. It'll probably fit on some, but not all, because the ball is different. The construction is slightly different on some of the heads. So maybe some, but maybe not others. Right. Sorry, guys. There's so many comments. I apologize. I'm not going to get through all of them. Oh, the Vacuuminator. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dude, thank you. Long-time listener, first-time super chatter, working on getting my own Joe TF podcast up and running soon, and I'm planning on starting with an FAQ of common fandom questions. Any suggestions or tips? Well, Vacuuminator, love that name. Thank you, first and foremost. That's very, very kind of you. Secondly, I would say in terms of tips, is just do it. Is the Nike term, just do it. When I was umming and erring about this 8, 9, 10 years ago. I can't remember how many years ago it was now. It was so long ago when we first started the podcast. It was one of those things where I was chatting with my buddy Dave Tree and Eddie Inman about this, and we had a phone conversation about it, and we talked about it. And then it was literally like, right, well, let's plan it for next week. And we did it, and we did it like on the fly. We recorded it, we put it out there, and then we just kept growing and building from there. And you kind of learn as you go. As it's building. So I would suggest that you could either do that thing where you kind of look at other kind of things, the way other people do things, to get kind of ideas, but at the same time, just do you is another thing I would say, like, is just kind of like, you know, get your own kind of like feel for what you want to do, like your own graphics and your own ideas of what you want to talk about, and like, you know, maybe sketch out like plans and like, you know, like try and get stuff together. I'm very organized like that. Like I will, for all of these news bursts that we do, all of the kind of lives and everything, I do documents, and I put the images in there that I'll need, and I'll, you know, fill it with the script and everything, and kind of all that kind of stuff. And if I do like interviews, like I'll write it all out in a script, and I'll send those interview questions, you know, all like on, you know, fancy headed, kind of like, you know, make it look nice and kind of like designed. Send that out to like, you know, say if I'm doing a interview with Emily and Lenny, I'll send that to the Hasbro team, and I'll send it to Super 7 before we do an interview, so they know those kind of things. There's an abundance of tips and tricks and all sorts of things, but the main one is just plan, but do it. Just get it done. Do you know what I mean? Like, get that overall plan in, so you're not kind of umming and erring a lot. And if you're doing a pre-record, if you're just recording and then editing it afterwards, it's fine. But even then, it's easier for you in the long run to make it as smooth and as easy for you and your co-hosts as humanly possible. So that's what I would. I mean, I've got tons of tips and tricks, Vacuuminator. So maybe if you want to message me privately, like on, you know, on Full Force or whatever, I'll get back to. You can ask me some more direct questions, and then I won't be taking up everyone's time telling everyone how to do a podcast and so on and so forth. But there's lots of stuff to get into. But my main ones are just do it, just do you, and plan accordingly. They're my 3 tips. Thank you again for the super chat. That was very kind, and we really appreciate it. Joe, good point. It is removable if you pop his arms off. Absolutely. How easy is it to get classified arms out? Because I've never done it. I've never actually taken an arm out of a classified figure. But if that's the case, Joe, then boom, be doing that. Where is classified snake armor? Indeed, Teglo Carbonite. I would love a classified snake armor. Looks like we're going to get one for Super 7. Was it the Super Cyborg listing that's come out recently? Very interesting. Can't wait to see more about that. But yeah, in terms of classified, yeah, it needs a snake armor, doesn't it? That'd be really cool. Nice, Harrison. They are green shirts. They will end up in graves. So yeah, that's very good. Probably a very good point, actually. Throw in a classified Vietnam Snake Eyes, LRRRP, while you're at it. Yes, the Long Range Recon Patrol. Oh, okay. Darren says, Grunt uses the stalker body, so the mole vest will definitely come off. Brilliant. Thank you for that, Darren. Darren, bit of inside info there. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate all this extra. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, cool. Right, that's it. We've got to the end. But before we go, I'm just going to do this. That was close. I never have enough time to switch cameras. I do. I just forget to do things. Anywho, thank you for joining me on this Newsburst Live to discuss the Crimson Viper and Classified Grunt, but well, they're both classified, reveals that HASBRO Pulse put out about an hour ago, I think it was. I did all right, didn't I, to get that out quick. And we've done almost an hour again. My goodness, it's just been live central today. Expect this again on Monday when HasLab gets dropped and I have to get loads of images from the video, put them in a slideshow, go live, probably, hopefully with someone else if we've got any other team involved. Blimey. Anyway, it has been fun. Yojoe June is always blooming crazy pants, and it just gets more and more intense, doesn't it? Like last year was a big one. The year before that was pretty massive. And then the year before that, it was just like social posts every day for a month and like silly ones, which I was fine with. I was fine with that. Now it's like, oh no, we're going to do pre-orders every day, or we're going to do a HasLab every week. It's like, come on, give us a break. We've only been asking for this constantly, and now we're getting it. It's like, oh, calm your jets. I'm just kidding. No, it's been great. Thanks again for everyone in the chat, all the comments and everything. And the super chats as well. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Vacuuminator. Very cool. It's almost like that's not your name. That's almost like a weapon that that a janitorial viper utilizes. Anyway, smash that like button. Yes, thank you, Rachel. Smash that like button on Facebook and on YouTube, on whatever you're watching this on. Just please react. We appreciate all of the comments, all of the support, very much so. We've got the weekly tomorrow, which I've got to prep for now, which is getting bigger and bigger by the bloomin' second. I imagine more news will happen before the end of the day. I won't be going live again today, I doubt it. I'll probably just do a news burst mini, like an extra later on. But it's been fun. I will see you guys tomorrow morning live. Actually, I'll see you guys earlier. I think I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Mezco Destro first thing. That'll be in preparation, in before we do the live or the weekly. So I'm looking probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. No, we'll say 8 a.m. We'll say Eastern. Whew. Right then. See you then, guys. It's been a pleasure. After 3, you know what to do. Your cheese bags. I'm sorry, some of the people keep asking me this. I won't be at Joe Fest, guys. I'm very sorry. So have a great week next week if you are at Joe Fest, but unfortunately I won't be there. Not that, I mean, unfortunately for me, I won't be there. Not you guys won't probably care. But yeah, just people keep asking me, but I won't be going. So have a great time next week. Pat will be there. Adam Richards will be there. Go and bother them about the Full Force podcast and tell them how much you love the show and how much you love them. Have a great time next week. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. 1, 2, 3. Full Force. Laters taters.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.